Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing and creating two looks using the new Menagerie Cosmetics Violet Ink palette. And I love purple palettes, so I was really excited that they did an all purple themed palette. And of course the artwork on the cover of the palette is so beautiful, very detailed, and I just feel like it reflects the inside of the palette really well. And I will give you my thoughts on the palette and each of the shades at the end of the video, so if you would like to see the looks I created, please keep watching. And I'm priming with the P. Louise base. So I'm going to be doing two different looks, one on each eye. And I know some people don't like that, but unfortunately I'm a bit pressed for time. Sorry if my foundation doesn't look too great, and I'm definitely returning it. I don't like it at all. I'm going to go in with Iron Grip in the crease. I'm just going to slowly be blending that upwards. Very pigmented, but it's taking a little bit extra elbow grease to blend out. I feel like it looks a little patchy, so I'm gonna try to fix it. This color is really cool. Next, I'm gonna create a wing with the shade Inkjet. And I'm of course using my favorite Sigma Pencil E30 brush for this. And I like to start in the edge and angle my brush, make like the tiniest little wing, and then work my way along the lash line to my inner corner, just kind of building it up piece by piece. And then to create that sharp wing at the end, I'm gonna face the brush the opposite way and flick it outward and kind of put down pressure and then let go. So I'm gonna grab a flat brush and go in with Mimic. I'm trying to pick this up and it's really crumbly. And if you can see, it's like not picking up evenly. This reminds me of some of the ABH shimmers do that in the Norvina palette especially. It's like really crumbly. I think I need to wet the brush for this shade at least. And I'm going to go back in with Inkjet on the pencil brush and just clean up that liner. So since there's no lighter highlighting shade, I'm going to be using Kristen Leanne Passionista highlighter. It's like a beautiful iridescent highlighter with a purple shift. Then I'm going to connect the wing with my lower lash line and the shade Inkjet on the same pencil brush that I used to create the wing. And then this is the finished look. So for the second look, I'm going in with Jellyfish in the crease, and I'm just slowly packing that on and blending it out. I didn't want to go in with too much pigmentation to begin with. Then I'm taking a small blending brush and I'm going in with Inkjet, and I'm placing that on my outer crease close to the lash line, and I'm going to be putting it on an angle towards the inner upper lash line. And then just blending out the edges on the outer crease very lightly. And I'm going to cut my crease with the ABH primer, looking almost completely straight so I can see where my eye fold is, and just kind of mapping it out above that eye fold. So I want to create kind of like a gradient with the dark purple. So I'm going with Octopi to blend in with Inkjet, and the more I started putting on Octopi, I felt like they were really blending together because they look so similar once they're on the lid together. And I'm also placing Octopi on an angle because I will be going in with a shimmer. So next I'm going in with 3 Hearts, and this shade is a little bit on the softer side as well, just like Mimic, but not as bad. And I was able to pack that on and just blend it in with Octopi. Then I'm going back in with Jellyfish in the crease above 3 Hearts. And for this look, I felt like adding some eyeliner. I'm using the Makeup Revolution eyeliner pen, and I like to start out on my outer corner and then lining my lash line and slowly filling in the rest of the wing and connecting it with the lash line. And then thickening up the wing as far as I want it. Next, I took the P. Louise Basic Brights in Vivid Violet on an angled brush, and I'm using that to line the inner half cut crease. Then my waterline, I'm using the ColourPop gel liner in Exit, and I'm gonna add Octopi below my lower lash line, and then a little bit of Jellyfish on the more inner corner of the lower lash line. And because there is no light shade to highlight with, I'm using Luna from the ABH Aurora palette. And this is the second finished look. So those are the 2 looks that I created, and I've also used the palette 2 more times to create 2 other looks. Now let me start off and say that I love Menagerie Cosmetics. I love their Whale Song palette that I did 5 looks with, their Dragon Child palette, their Feral palette, and I have some singles as well that are absolutely amazing. However, you know I'm going to be completely honest with you, and this is not my favorite palette from them, and it's not necessarily the quality. And after creating 4 looks with this palette, I feel overall like I'm very limited on the kinds of looks I can create. I think there's some depth lacking in this palette. I think these shades are pretty similar. This one's obviously just a little bit lighter and brighter, and this one's more cool toned. But what I'm really missing is a light purple shimmer. And also in the second look, I tried to kind of do a gradient with Inkjet and Octopi, and I felt like they ended up blending in and looking exactly the same. It was hard to see a difference between them once they were on the eye. And I also had a little bit of patch issues on a different look that I created with Inkjet and Octopi. Now I didn't have it the second time, but the first time it got patchy on me, and I don't know if that was just a primer or my eyelids were dry, but that was not surprising because purple eyeshadows are harder to formulate. But like I said, the second time I used both the shades, I didn't have an issue. Otherwise, the mattes are pigmented just like any other Menagerie Cosmetics mattes, and they blend out really well. I do feel like some of these metallics are a little bit softer than usual, and they almost remind me of the shimmers in the Norvina palette by ABH, where you just touch it with a flat brush and it just kind of disturbs the pan quite a bit. So 3 Hearts is really beautiful and metallic, just a little bit soft but nothing too bad, and it looks really beautiful. Now I think my least favorite shade is Mimic. It looks like it's really beautiful, and it almost like looks in the pan like super metallic, and it reflects the light really well. But it's very soft, it was very crumbly, and also once you put it on the eye, it has kind of a grayish undertone. It looks kind of dull on the eyes, but that might just be my preference. I'm personally not a fan of this shade. I just feel like I'm definitely going to be reaching for other shades from other palettes or my single shades to be using with this palette in the future. So those are the thoughts that I've kind of collected throughout my experience of creating the 4 looks with this palette. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.